hidden in plain sight. Admiral Elena Vasquez stared at the holographic display aboard the UES Horizon, Earth's supposed first interstellar vessel. The approaching alien ships resembled massive crystalline structures that somehow managed to look both organically beautiful and militarily menacing. Their hulls shimmered with an iridescent coating that seemed to bend light around them. This would be humanity's official introduction to the wider galactic community, 5 years after Earth scientists had discovered the quantum resonance network that spanned the known universe. "Status report," Vasquez ordered, her voice steady despite the weight of history pressing down on her shoulders. Humanity's future might well depend on how the next few hours unfolded. "All systems nominal," Admiral, replied Commander Rajiv Singh from the tactical station. "Shields at full capacity but masked as primitive energy barriers. Weapons systems armed but powered down as ordered. Stealth systems active." The Horizon was humanity's masterpiece of deception. To an outside observer, it appeared to be exactly what Earth wanted the aliens to see, a respectable first attempt at interstellar technology from a young civilization. Its exterior hull was deliberately designed with visible weld marks and external cooling systems that any advanced species would consider primitive. But beneath this carefully crafted facade lay technological innovations that Earth had developed in complete isolation, advancements that had taken entirely different evolutionary paths than those of established galactic powers. "They're hailing us, Admiral," Communications Officer Lina Chen announced. "Standard quantum resonance frequency." "On screen," Vasquez ordered. The holographic display shifted to show a being with silver-flecked obsidian skin and elongated features. 4 eyes blinked independently along a horizontal ridge where a human would have a forehead. "Greetings, humans," the alien's translator rendered in perfect English. "I am High Commander Vexcor of the Zandari Collective. We are pleased to officially welcome you to the galactic community. Our preliminary scans indicate your vessel is quaint. Fear not, we shall guide your species toward proper technological advancement." Vasquez maintained a carefully neutral expression. "High Commander, I am Admiral Elena Vasquez of the United Earth Alliance. We appreciate your welcome and are eager to learn." What the High Commander couldn't see was the Horizon's true nature. Beneath its unassuming exterior lay systems that would astonish and terrify. The Zandari Collective. While the Zandari delegation prepared to board for the formal first contact ceremony, Chief Engineer Marcus Wong performed final checks on the Horizon's revolutionary systems: the quantum displacement drive, the consciousness-linked battle interface, and most importantly, the dimensional phase shields that Earth scientists had developed after discovering a fundamental flaw in the universe's base quantum structure, a flaw that no other known species had identified. "They're scanning us, Admiral," Security Chief Abigail Freeman reported from her station. "Their scans are penetrating our outer hull, but the inner masking fields are deflecting them as expected." Vasquez nodded. "Let them see what we want them to see." As the Zandari delegation's shuttle approached the Horizon's docking bay, Vasquez couldn't help but feel a mixture of hope and apprehension. Earth was stepping onto the galactic stage, but they were doing so with their hand hovering near their holstered weapon. Humanity had learned through devastating wars and near-extinction events that peace was best maintained through strength. High Commander Vexcor moved through the Horizon's corridors with poorly concealed disdain. The delegation, representatives from 5 of the Collective's dominant species, followed behind with expressions ranging from boredom to thinly veiled contempt. To them, this was a routine mission. Welcome the primitives, establish the hierarchy, begin the slow process of technological and cultural absorption. "Your propulsion system is interesting," Vexcor commented, gesturing to what appeared to be conventional fusion engines visible through an observation port. "Quite efficient for such early-stage technology." "We do our best with what we have, High Commander," Vasquez replied politely. What Vexcor couldn't see was that the fusion engines were merely auxiliary systems. The Horizon's true propulsion, The quantum displacement drive that allowed instant travel between any 2 points in space without passing through the intervening distance remained undetected, shielded by technology derived from Earth's unique approach to quantum mechanics. As the tour continued, Jandari scientists surreptitiously scanned everything, recording data to be analyzed later. They saw exactly what humans wanted them to see: a spacecraft impressive for a newcomer species, but nowhere near the level of the collective's technology. Meanwhile, in a shielded compartment deep within the horizon, Commander Singh monitored the data being collected by Earth's stealth nanoprobes. The information streaming in revealed that the Jandari vessels, while advanced, had critical vulnerabilities that Earth's unique technological approach could exploit if necessary. "They're scanning our weapon systems now," Singh reported through a secure neural link to Vasquez. "The decoy emitters are functioning perfectly. They're seeing our public-facing armaments, nothing more." Vasquez acknowledged with a subtle eye movement captured by the ship's internal sensors. The Horizon's true weapon systems, consciousness-guided energy projectors capable of bypassing conventional shields and quantum disruptors that could temporarily remove targeted matter from this dimension, remained hidden behind layers of specialized masking fields. In the diplomatic reception area, Chief Diplomat Oscar Reyes engaged the Jandari representatives, skillfully navigating their subtle attempts to extract commitments and concessions from Earth. "We understand the collective usually establishes protection agreements with new member species," Reyes said, his tone respectful but firm. "Earth appreciates the offer, but we prefer mutual defense arrangements rather than protectorates." Vexcor's expression hardened slightly. "The galaxy can be a dangerous place for uninitiated species. Our protection comes with considerable benefits." "I'm sure it does," Reyes replied with a disarming smile. "We look forward to discussing those benefits in detail." What the Jandari delegation didn't realize was that Earth had been monitoring galactic communications for years before making official contact. They knew exactly how the collective's protection had reduced once independent species to vassal states, their resources harvested to fuel the collective's expansion. The first day of contact proceeded exactly as humanity had planned. The Jandari believed they were dealing with an impressive but ultimately naive young species, ripe for eventual absorption into their hegemony. 3 days into the diplomatic mission, the Jandari delegation had completed their assessments of Earth's capabilities. Their reports, transmitted to the collective flagship in what they believed was an unbreakable encryption, painted humanity as technologically promising, but at least 2 centuries away from becoming a significant galactic power. What they didn't know was that every transmission had been intercepted and decoded by the Horizon's quantum consciousness systems. "They're recommending a Class 3 integration protocol," Singh reported during the senior staff meeting in the Horizon's secure briefing room. "That means they plan to offer us limited technology sharing in exchange for access to our solar system's resources and cultural exchange programs." Vasquez nodded grimly. "Just as our intelligence predicted. Class 3 is their standard approach for resource acquisition without direct military conquest." The briefing room display showed decoded Jandari documents outlining their true intentions. Earth would receive obsolete technology, while collective corporations established mining operations throughout the solar system. Within 50 years, humanity would be effectively reduced to managing Jandari operations on their own worlds. Time to change the game, Vasquez decided. Implement Deception Protocol. Phase 2. Across the horizon, hidden systems began to activate. In engineering, Wong initiated the power transfer from the auxiliary systems to the ship's true heart, the quantum consciousness core. Throughout the vessel, false walls receded, revealing the true extent of Earth's technology. When High Commander Vexcor and the delegation arrived for that day's scheduled meeting, they found the Horizon's conference room transformed. Gone were the primitive holographic displays, replaced with fully immersive quantum projection systems. The walls now gleamed with advanced materials unknown to Jandari science. "What is the meaning of this?" Vexcor demanded, his composure slipping for the first time. "A demonstration, High Commander," Vask smiled. We felt it was time to be more forthcoming about Earth's capabilities. At her gesture, the room's display activated, showing the complete text of the Gendary's secret reports and recommendations regarding Earth, including their plans for resource extraction and cultural subjugation. How did you? Vexcore began, then stopped abruptly as realization dawned. You've been monitoring our secure communications, Vasquez confirmed. Among other things, we've also taken the liberty of deploying our observation platforms throughout your fleet. Very educational. The delegation's demeanor shifted instantly from condescension to alarm. One of the Xandari military attaches reached for a concealed weapon, only to find it wouldn't activate. Weapon systems won't function aboard this vessel without our permission, Security Chief Freeman explained calmly. A simple security precaution. Vasquez leaned forward. Let's be clear, High Commander. Earth has no interest in the collective standard integration protocols. We're already aware of what happened to the Colonian civilization when they declined a similar offer 2 decades ago. The mention of the Colonians, a species whose home system had suffered a mysterious stellar event after refusing Xandari terms, caused visible discomfort among the delegation. If you're implying, Vexcore began. I'm not implying anything, Vasquez interrupted. I'm stating facts. Earth knows how the collective operates. We know about the resource extraction, the manufactured dependencies, the occasional examples made of non-compliant species. Singh activated another display showing detailed scans of the Xandari vessels, including vulnerable points in their defensive systems that the collective had believed were undetectable. We come in peace, High Commander, Vasquez continued, her voice hardening. But we come prepared. Earth is offering genuine alliance, not submission disguised as protection. The Xandari delegation's return to their flagship was hasty and undignified. Gone was the air of superiority, replaced by barely concealed panic. Emergency transmissions to the collective homeworlds began immediately, reporting the unexpected development. The humans had concealed their true technological capabilities and had somehow managed to penetrate the collective's most secure communications. The new Galactic Order. Aboard the Xandari flagship, Supreme Overseer Thalvox reviewed the reports with growing alarm. This cannot stand, he declared to his senior staff. If the humans truly possess the technology they claim, they represent a fundamental threat to collective authority. No emerging species can be allowed to bypass the established order. The collective's military doctrine had always been clear. Species that wouldn't be controlled must be eliminated before they could challenge collective dominance. It had only happened 5 times in their 1,000-year history, but each time had been swift and decisive. Prepare the fleet for combat operations, Thalvox ordered. The horizon is still alone without support. We will eliminate it and then proceed to the human homeworld with overwhelming force. Back on the horizon, Vasquez and her command staff observed the Xandari fleet activities through their stealth network. They're charging weapons systems and adjusting their formation into attack positions, Singh reported. Looks like they've made their decision. Vasquez nodded, unsurprised. Send the signal. Deep within Earth's solar system, a hidden installation activated. Within minutes, space itself seemed to ripple and fold as 12 massive ships emerged from concealed dimensional pockets where they had been waiting. These were Earth's true fleet, each vessel as large and powerful as the horizon, each representing years of secret development and construction. Aboard the horizon, Vasquez opened a communication channel to the Xandari flagship. Supreme Overseer Thalvox, I'm detecting unusual power signatures from your vessels. I trust there's no misunderstanding about Earth's peaceful intentions. Thalvox's face appeared on the main display, his expression a mixture of anger and calculation. Your deception cannot be tolerated, human. The collective has maintained galactic stability for a millennium. Upstart species who harbor secret technologies are a threat to that stability. I understand your concern, Vasquez replied calmly, which is why I've arranged a small demonstration. At that moment, The Jandary's sensors detected the arrival of Earth's hidden fleet, 12 enormous battleships, each materializing from what appeared to be nowhere, positioning themselves in a loose formation around the collective vessels. "Impossible," exclaimed the Jandary tactical officer. "Our sensors detect no warp signatures, no jump points." Vasquez allowed herself a small smile. The Horizon was never alone. "Supreme Overseer, Earth doesn't build singular flagships. We build fleets." On the tactical display, the collective vessels looked suddenly small and vulnerable, surrounded by Earth's massive warships. "You should also know," Vasquez continued, "that we've deployed similar battle groups near each of the 9 Jandary core worlds. They've been in position for months, gathering intelligence and preparing contingencies. This was Earth's ultimate revelation. They hadn't just built advanced ships. They had mapped the entire collective domain and positioned their forces strategically before ever making official contact." "This is an act of war," Thalvox sputtered. "No," Vasquez corrected. "This is deterrence. There will be no war today unless you choose to start one. But be assured, Supreme Overseer, if you fire upon this vessel or move against Earth, the response will be immediate and decisive." To emphasize the point, each of Earth's battleships activated their main weapon systems, not the conventional energy weapons the collective understood, but quantum disruptors that caused localized phasing of targeted areas of the Jandary vessels out of normal space-time. On the collective ships, alarms blared as sections of their vessels temporarily ceased to exist in this dimension, then reappeared intact, but with all systems offline. No shot had been fired, yet every Jandary vessel was effectively immobilized. What do you want?" Thalvox finally asked, his voice subdued. "What we've always wanted," Vasquez answered. "Peaceful coexistence as equals. Not subjects, not resources to be harvested. Equals." The galaxy's balance of power had just fundamentally changed. The emergency session of the Jandary High Council was chaos. For the first time in centuries, the 9 dominant species found themselves facing a situation with no clear precedent. The human revelation had shattered centuries of carefully maintained galactic hierarchy. "They must be destroyed immediately," thundered the Vextar representative, his crystalline exoskeleton flashing angry red pulses. "Their technology violates fundamental collective protocols. They've positioned weapons near our homeworlds." "With what fleet?" countered the Ithmera delegate, her bioluminescent appendages pulsing with agitation. "Our military reports indicate the humans have already deployed at least 50 battleships throughout collective space. Each one is capable of neutralizing an entire battle group without firing a single conventional weapon." The Council's massive display showed footage from the encounter with the Horizon and its sister ships. The ease with which the human vessels had immobilized the collective fleet was disturbing enough, but more concerning were the reports now flooding in from across collective space. Human observation platforms had been discovered orbiting strategic installations, monitoring key trade routes, and shadowing military deployments. "They'd been watching us for years," the Jandary intelligence director reported grimly. "While we believed they were contained in their home system, they were mapping our entire domain." In private chambers adjoining the council hall, Elder Nothval of the Ithmera Conclave met secretly with representatives from 4 other collective species. Unlike the Vextar and their hardline allies, these 5 had built their power through trade and diplomacy rather than military might. "The humans offer opportunity, not just threat," Nothval observed. "Their technology took an entirely different evolutionary path than ours. They've solved problems we've struggled with for centuries." "You suggest cooperation with these upstarts?" asked the Pellerin trade minister, their gelatinous form rippling with uncertainty. "I suggest survival," Nothval replied bluntly. "The age of simply eliminating potential rivals is over. The humans deployed their fleet before revealing themselves. They're already too dispersed to eliminate in one strike." Meanwhile, aboard the Horizon, now positioned near the collective's neutral space station, where the emergency session was taking place, Vasquez and diplomat Reyes monitored the Council's deliberations through their intelligence network. "They're splitting into factions," Reyes observed. "5 species are inclined toward diplomatic engagement. 3 are advocating immediate military action despite the risks, and 1 remains undecided." Vasquez nodded. "Just as we predicted. The Vextar and their allies have always been the aggressors. The Ithmera and the trade-focused species recognize an opportunity when they see one." "And the undecided?" Reyes asked. "The Zentari," Vasquez replied. "They control the collective's banking system. They'll side with whoever they think will win." Despite the Council's divided opinions, Supreme Overseer Thalvox, a Vextar hardliner, ordered a stealth strike against Earth. A collective battle group, using experimental cloaking technology, attempted to bypass the human fleet and make a direct assault on the Sol system. They never arrived. The Human Quantum Consciousness Network detected the collective ships the moment they activated their drives. Earth's response was measured but decisive. The battle group found itself surrounded by 20 human vessels that seemed to materialize from nowhere. Rather than destroying the collective ships, the human fleet simply disabled them and escorted them back to Jandari space. The failed strike was the final blow to the hardliners' credibility. A vote of no confidence removed Thalvox from power, replacing him with an Ithmera moderate. Within days, the new leadership extended a formal invitation to Earth: join a reformed collective as a founding member of a new, more equitable alliance. In the Grand Council chamber on the neutral station, representatives from all collective species gathered to witness the signing of the historic accord. Diplomat Reyes, flanked by Admiral Vasquez and a delegation of Earth's finest, approached the ceremonial table. "The Terran-Zandari Accord marks a new era in galactic relations," announced the new Supreme Overseer, an Ithmera named Zilvera. "No longer will the collective seek to absorb and control. Instead, we will build an alliance of equals, each contributing their unique strengths and perspectives." As Reyes signed the accord, Vasquez couldn't help but reflect on how close they had come to war. Humanity's deception had been a calculated risk. Revealing their true technological might could have provoked immediate hostilities. But in the end, it had been the right call. The galaxy was entering a new age, one where Earth would play a central role not as conquerors, but as partners. Later, as the Earth delegation prepared to return to the horizon, High Commander Vexcor approached Vasquez. The once arrogant Jandari seemed humbled. "There is one question that has been troubling me, Admiral," he said quietly. "How did your species develop such advanced technology in isolation? The quantum displacement drive alone should have taken centuries to perfect, yet you mastered it and more without any external influence." Vasquez smiled. "Perhaps that was our advantage, High Commander. Without knowing what was impossible, we were free to try the improbable. Humanity has always excelled when our backs are against the wall." Vexcor considered this, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence. "A formidable trait. I begin to understand why your people call your homeworld Earth, rather than dirt or ground, as most species do. You see potential where others see only limitation." As the Horizon departed the station, its true engines openly active for the first time, ships from across the reformed collective formed an honor guard. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage not as newcomers to be guided, but as innovators to be respected. The age of deception was over. The age of collaboration had begun.